curious about the start with the Nevada game and what you saw on film that wasn't part of the reaction immediately after.
Yeah, it's a slow start. Just really the whole night we didn't create the shot quality that we were looking for, and so really beginning to end in the half court, we weren't able to create the advantages that we wanted to normally do, and just get shot quality. I thought that was a big part of it. Defensively, I thought we played well early for a lot of that game. Kind of kept us within striking distance, got us back in it, but ultimately just couldn't make enough plays.
Physically, you had mentioned that they were able to get up into you guys a little bit and do a lot of one-on-one basketball. And San Diego State's a team that's real physical too, so I'm curious if there's a quick turnaround fix. Just obviously some tweaks at this point, but what you tell the team that you're about to face another physical team, you can't let them do the same thing that Nevada did. How do you approach that?
Yeah, I think that's a message that we're trying to send, to say like we have to handle that better. And it's not just like, it's more collectively. There's you win some of those matchups, but you got to win more than you lose, and try to impose your will a little better.
And specific to what San Diego State does, there's only 3 teams in the country that have that 2-point scoring differential defensively that's under 40%. And they're one of them. I think there's only one team below them. It's hard to score twos on them. And I asked Uriah the same thing. I'm curious what your approach is. Do you attack their strength? It's obviously a strength. Their scoring inside the arc is something that teams can't do. So do you attack that, or do you sort of accept it and find ways to maximize the perimeter?
Yeah, we always want to score around the rim, so we're always going to try to do that. And then we also want to take what they give us. So I think the game will dictate a lot of that.
Coach, the rivalry. It could, there's a lot of talk between New Mexico State and San Diego State, the history that goes on here, but this could potentially be the last time these two teams play each other for a while. But just talk about the rivalry in your 1 year that you've been here. What's it mean to you? What it means to the program?
Well, it's a big game. Obviously, they're a really good team. They have a history of having success. There's a history of success here, so I think that's rivalries come from the same two teams playing each other, and with stakes, right? And that's happened a lot in this matchup, and there's some stakes here for us, so that's kind of the continuation of what you're talking about. And we had a competitive game there the first time. Felt like we had some chances and weren't able to get it done, and so we're excited about the next opportunity. And I think the sellout crowd and the enthusiasm for the game again speaks to what you're talking about. But for us, it's an opportunity from a basketball standpoint that we want to take advantage of.
And then I don't know how my YouTube algorithm got me onto this, but I saw a podcast with Miami's head coach. He talked about the difficulty of scheduling, especially for teams that are outside the power conferences. So it's just the mentality for a lot of power schools is that you schedule quad 1 or quad 4, but nothing in between, which leaves a huge gap for teams like New Mexico, anyone in the Mountain West, anyone in the future Pac-12. I'm just curious with the division that's about to happen between Mountain West and Pac-12. Does that open the door for the possibility of trying to maintain some sort of contact with San Diego State and Utah State moving forward?
Yeah, we're having all those conversations relative to scheduling. To your point about the quads, like for us, that starts with, if we build good basketball teams, then we create more opportunities for ourselves. If we can be a top 30 team, then we're a quad 1 on the road for people, right? So the better teams we build, and the better basketball we play, the more optionality we'll have from a scheduling standpoint. But yeah, we're having those conversations with everybody because we want to try to build a schedule that gives us as many quad 1 and 2 opportunities as possible as well. There's some challenges with that, like you mentioned, but that's certainly something we're trying to do.
Coach, since Luke Hop scored 30 points, he's had 20 points in 4 games. And is it because defenses are concentrating more defensive pressure on him? Because I think when he does look for his, you mentioned he's a connector. The offense seems to flow much better when he's hitting the 3. But he's not a volume shooter. He's not going to go out there and he did that one game against Boise when he had 30. But what do you see it as with him, and what does the Lobos, New Mexico, need to do to get him going again?
Yeah, I don't think we need to get Luke going. He's playing well. You know, I think the 30 is more the outlier. Like we're not trying to recreate that necessarily. Like I don't think that's more of who he is as a player. I think the game just sort of came to him that night, and you know he's just going to play, just try to play good basketball on a possession by possession basis, and so he's doing a ton for us on both ends of the floor, and you know I think he shot it well in that one. You know he's capable and taking the right shots. He's made multiple threes in a couple different games, so you know if he gets good looks, we feel good about it, and he's just going to take what the defense gives and try to make the right play all the time, and if scoring opportunities present themselves, he'll try to score, and if they don't as much, then he'll try to get other people involved. I think that's really kind of what makes him a great player.
Coach, I was going to ask you about guarding the basketball. It seems like the last 3 games you guys have struggled at times, a little bit against Grand Canyon in the second half, against Fresno State in the first half, and then down the stretch against Nevada, against San Diego State, against a team with some ball, some guys that can make their own plays, score at the rim, and score in the mid-range. What are the challenges for you guys defensively?
Yeah, I mean we got to do a better job of controlling the basketball for sure. Specifically Fresno State was a time where we really struggled early in that one, late in Grand Canyon. Nevada's a little different than kind of the first two, just in terms of how they attack with some of the off-ball stuff and kind of how we navigate that. So that game, while I don't disagree with you, is a little bit different in terms of what we're trying to, like when we talk about controlling the basketball. But I mean, that's kind of where our defense starts. Point of attack. Can we keep it out of the paint? Can we force contested jump shots? And so it's a combination of things. The better you guard it, the less rotation you're in, so you can get back to those other get shots contested easier or get out of your rotations quicker. So we want to do that. But then there's also times where we got to be earlier to the help and be more aggressive and be willing to put ourselves in rotation. And so some of it is recognition of where the ball is on the floor, who are we guarding, kind of all the context that goes into each defensive possession, and making the right decisions about when to go, where we want to be more aggressive on the floor. Some of those things that I think we're inconsistent at times in how we execute are also things we could do better.
And then offense at times in the last 3 games has been stagnant at periods. You're playing top 20 KenPom defensive adjusted efficiency team. What are the challenges for you guys offensively?
Yeah, I mean they're a fantastic defensive team. A lot of switching 1 through 5, which can put you into some individual or isolation situations, and so we want to find the balance between trying to get guys in space in the right matchups and also like having ball movement and flow to what we're doing. That can be difficult to strike, especially against a good defensive team like that. So, but that's sort of how we're approaching it and what we want to do. And we always want to create advantage. Can we get 2 on the basketball? Can we make a good end to drive decision and amplify our advantage with more good decision making? When we do that, I think we'll be able to create quality shots. We did that some in our first matchup with them. We also turned it, had like one of our highest turnover games of the season, right? Turnovers hurt us in the one on Tuesday. So some things there that we need to clean up. And I think specifically with San Diego State, if you don't take care of the ball, if you allow steals, if you get your shot blocked and they can get out in transition, it can get very difficult for you.
You got 2 teams that have first place within the Eastern Conference. They got this long-standing rivalry. You got a national TV audience tomorrow, sellout crowd, the stripe, all that stuff. There's a lot of build-up for this game. There has been a lot of build-up for a while. But you're usually the last guy down the ramp because everyone's on the floor at first. I'm curious, what's it like when you leave the mid-ramp area and you're walking into that environment? Because this is a special place, but what goes through your mind when you're kind of emerging into that as you head down?
That's a good question. I'm not sure I even know the answer to that question. It is a special place, and I think I don't know if it's walking down the ramp where I feel it the most, or like right as we tip off. I think that's kind of when there have been a couple times this season when we're about to tip and kind of look up and I guess it's cool in here, like that's different. And, we haven't experienced a sellout. And, I think everybody's excited about this game. But, I never want to take that for granted. Like, that's part of what makes this place special and is a foundational part of this program. It's why we keep talking about it being bigger than any one player or person or coach or anything like that, so we never want to take that for granted. We appreciate, the support that people, whether it's, San Diego State on national television or, Alabama State in November, we appreciate the support from the fans, and we don't take it for granted. And yeah, there's usually a moment kind of between walking down the ramp and when it starts where you kind of like take it all in a little bit. But yeah, I don't know where that occurs for me. It's kind of different every time.
Their depth is something that's I don't know if coming to fire is the right word, but it's been pointed out that they are more successful when they play a shorter bench. And it's not something Dutch likes to do. And they kind of wear their depth as a badge sometimes. What's the challenge of playing 11 guys like they try to do?
Yeah, so I don't want to speak for them. Like, everybody does it differently, and Coach Wilder on our staff came from UC Irvine that we competed against in San Diego, and they always played like 11, sometimes 12 guys. That's not been something I've done rotationally. I feel like that's challenging for me. So again, everybody does it differently, and lots of respect for how everybody else does it. I think it's hard. For the players sometimes if you're to play shorter rotations or inconsistent minutes. So we're always trying to kind of be as consistent as we can with rotation. And for me, I think there's a lot of times I'm not sure we're in this situation now because we've had some injuries and we're kind of just playing our 8 at this stage. But there have been times in past seasons for me as a head coach where maybe we have one rotational spot. Let's say we have 20 minutes available and there's 2 guys, and I will typically choose one of those players to play 20 minutes versus giving them both 10, because I think your chances of getting kind of the optimized performance from one of the individuals is better with a longer rotation and a little more volume, especially if you need them to shoot it well or kind of, I don't know, relative to offensive performance, maybe like the rhythm of the game. That's just always been my approach because I think you're better off getting maybe the best version of one person than suboptimal from 2 in those roles. Everybody has a different approach to that. That's how I think about it. I think there's players need some consistency and the more rhythm they can find. And now that's not always possible relative to your rotations, but if in those situations, I always try to give guys one person a longer rotation than 2 guys getting short ones. Sometimes early in the year, you're kind of trying to figure it out and going through that. But by this time of the season, I think you guys are more comfortable in that. That's been my experience. So I don't want to speak about other programs.
You mentioned being sort of forced into the 8-man rotation right now. Just for checking off the box, any update on Chris Howell or Kevin Patton as the season is now a week and a half from conclusion?
No update on Kevin. Chris had a follow-up MRI that has shown he still has a little ways to go. There's some imaging that showing he's not fully back yet. But
is there still a process then involved in seeing if there's anything to do about a potential medical redshirt? I'll ask that first. Is there anything still in the works there that you guys are still exploring?
That process would start postseason. Yeah, I don't think there's anything to do at this stage.
There was a NCAA backed off I forget where he plays now, but last night a shooting guard from France who was initially given 1 year of eligibility was given a second. With that in mind, a pro who played professionally. With that in mind, is there anything you can say about Thomas Alva's future eligibility? He was given 1 year. Do we know if he's going to get a second year?
I don't know anything at this time.
Okay. And then I want to follow up on one thing that Will asked about the San Diego State stuff. I get that calls are being had with all these people. Dutch has made it clear he doesn't want to play here and will not play here in the future. Does that leave an option where you would play them only in a one-off there, or is it San Diego State non-conference, New Mexico non-conference series only if it's a home-and-home kind of terms thing?
I would never rule anything out, you know. I don't know, maybe you could ask Coach Dutcher if he wants to buy us, you know. We'll be open to that. I don't know, can we find a neutral site? Like, I mean, I'm open to solutions relative to scheduling if it's mutually beneficial for both parties. Like, I think we can find creative solutions. But, yeah, I am aware of Dutch's stance on not coming to play here. He's made that clear to me.
So San Diego State is coming off a really good win the other night. Played really good collectively. What were the things that they were doing when you were watching the film on defense and on offense that seemed to click for them the other night?
Yeah, their performance Wednesday night was super impressive. I thought just their defensive intensity, the physicality they played with. I thought they really controlled a lot of that game. Reese Dixwaters was shot making was impressive. They did a good job. They were active defensively. Simmons came off the bench and was super impactful in his rotations. I thought Compton played well. I thought that was probably one of their better performances of the season, and so it was for us certainly like the recognition of how good a team that we're playing and what we have to do to be successful.
And then the physicality that Nevada played with that didn't force the help that you normally see. Like, is there a certain kind of mindset of these players of really knowing you're going to be facing a very tough defensive player, but yet we still need you to figure out a way to get paint touches. That do they have even a little bit more determination on each possession because it does open up everything? And when you play physical like that, you're also prone to getting called for fouls if the offensive player is able to maneuver things with that kind of pressure. So, I know you do it all the time, but when you're going to play a physical team like San Diego State, is there some more discussion related to it?
Yeah, we show film. We kind of have some different things that we do to try to have in practice different drills where we try to add physicality to different aspects of the game. You can't really recreate it relative to exactly what you're going to see, but some of it's just execution. We got to the paint, right? So against Nevada specifically, we got our feet in the paint, but they made some plays on the basketball where maybe we have it and we're within 4 feet, and instead of being able to get it on the rim one-on-one or deliver it to where we need to go, they were able to make a play on the ball, rip it out of our hands. Just some of those things where they just made individual plays. And so some of that's just our individual execution in those scenarios, and then other times maybe that's, it could be the execution from the ball handler there. It could be a lack of movement around him. Maybe somebody's not in the right place. So there's just a lot of factors to how the defense affects us on each possession. But, ultimately we weren't able to make the plays at the end of drives relative to score pass decisions and ball security that we've been making for the most part. And so we're going to have to get back to doing that at a high level, regardless of how good the defense is. If we want to have success, we have to be able to do that.
We should have just made some more plays down the stretch. We went back and watched film, saw what mistakes we made, what we could have accomplished that could have helped us win. And we saw a lot of things that could have helped us, and we couldn't get some stops, couldn't get some baskets on the stretch that we needed.
I imagine, obviously, losing any game is going to be frustrating. Losing that game is going to be frustrating because it was there for the taking, obviously. But then the very next night, an outcome in San Diego gives you guys kind of an opening that you guys could have been tied for first place, but you are still not playing a game tomorrow where first place is still a possibility. A league championship is still possible. What's the emotions and the mindset about that? Tough loss, and now it's still in front of you. How do you get ready for tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, that was a tough loss last game against Nevada, but we just got to worry about this game now. We got to worry about just going 1-0 each game, and the opportunity keeps presenting itself to us. I think just God just keeps blessing us with like the opportunity to be successful, and it's just we got to control our own destiny at this point.
The first time you played San Diego State, you had an opportunity there too.
Yeah.
Final minute, you had a lead. So the matchup is one that you guys can be competitive, obviously. What do you got to do this go around to at very least put yourself in the same position where you have a chance to win late and maybe get the better outcome this time?
Against San Diego State last time, I think we turned the ball over a lot. Didn't get stops sometimes that we needed. But taking care of the ball on offense is going to be a key part of this game, and playing defense. They like to go score, one-on-one a little bit. So just getting down and guarding each and every possession is what we need.
Before Olen got here, had you been recruited by UNM in high school?
No.
So you've never actually been in this building when it's completely full then?
No, never.
And so, look, this game's been sold out for a couple of weeks, so now you have a chance to come in here and see what 15,411 is actually like. What's the build-up for you?
It's just exciting opportunity in front of me, and I'm excited to take advantage of it. The team is, and we hope we perform the way we need to perform.
It's a big deal when the TV guys get here like a full day before. You see all the huge trucks outside.
Yeah.
So there's like a different feel for this game as opposed to any other game. I don't know. I'm sure all you guys see that when you show up.
Yeah,
this game is a different feel.
We're excited. We know the backstory of SDSU and UNM. So getting a win at home is going to be really big, and seeing a stripe out it's going to be pretty cool. I'm super excited, and the team is as well.
So, Coach mentioned after the game that Nevada was physical and didn't require that much help or double team. When you're playing, you've got the ball in your hands a lot. When you're playing against that physicality, what are some things you do to kind of offset that and be able to make it so they have to help out?
Use my speed for sure. If I have a matchup advantage, use my speed to get past somebody, to draw people in the paint, kick out, find open teammates. So just using my speed is the advantage I can use when having the ball.
So what's basically the mood in the locker room? Obviously, every coaches, they go through practices, they see game plans. But I know players in locker rooms always have a, mojo going on. What's the mood as far as the motivation for this game and how big it is and that kind of thing? So.
I think we're just taking it as another game that every game is important at this point of the season. So just having the same mindset each and every game, just staying locked in.
Coach Olen had talked about too many empty possessions down the stretch against Nevada. What was it they did defensively? They looked like they played the gaps, prevented you from, drive kick. What was it defensively that they did down the stretch to execute?
I think just them using their physicality on defense, like Olen was telling you guys last, whenever he was talking to you guys last, but just their physicality was what helped them. And we just couldn't make shots as well.
You're right. You struggled a little bit against GCU, Air Force, and Fresno offensively, and then against Nevada to open up. You blew that wide open layup, and then you knocked down that three and hit that shot to make it 59-56. Just what goes through your minds to kind of overcome some of the struggles that you had?
Just not overthinking. Sometimes just don't think. Just go out there and play. Just do my job.
I got something for you. A year ago this time, you're in high school. You're hanging out with other guys. You're kind of doing your thing. You get to college, it's a totally different thing. You're away from home. You're traveling on airplanes. You're doing this. You're doing TV games. How much have you grown in the last 11, 12 months to get to this point right now?
I've grown a lot. My teammates and my coaches have helped me, along the way this whole year. But just I've learned a lot. It's been amazing, and I'm ready to continue it.
What's the hardest thing for your freshman year? What's been the biggest challenge?
I'm not really sure.
Not like doing your own laundry or anything?
It probably is doing laundry, maybe cleaning like the kitchen, cleaning my room sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah, you're away from home a lot too. It's like you kind of evolve a lot as a person. How much have you changed in that way? Just like not necessarily in the basketball court, but just as a person, how much have you grown?
Yeah, I've had to take some more responsibility and doing my laundry more often than I usually have to. Cleaning my bathroom, cleaning my room without being told by my parents and stuff like that. So, just like the housing responsibilities and making sure I'm at things that I need to be at on time, just things like that.
Who did all the cooking and cleaning for you? Did you have to do that yourself, or did someone do that when you were in high school?
My dad was at home a lot, so he would do a lot of the laundry and he'll cook. My mom will cook. So. Yeah.
So he's probably happy that you're gone. He didn't have to do any of that stuff anymore.
Yeah, but I know he misses me.
So what's the biggest thing that motivates Uriah?
What's the biggest thing that motivates Uriah? I would say probably my family and just the love of the game. Really, I want to continue playing basketball for as long as possible, play professionally. So.
San Diego State switches everything. I'm curious if this is a team. I know what their numbers are. They're forever been really good at 2-point defense in particular. Really low percentage, hard to score inside the arc. Is that then an adjustment you guys make to just take that and look for more perimeter shots, or do you attack it and try and get inside on it?
I say we still attack it and find matchup advantages, attack those matchup advantages. If the three's there, we're gonna shoot threes. We're gonna kick the ball out. Shoot threes. We're gonna tag, try to get the offensive rebound. But just play our same game, really.
Sounds like more of a attack their strength rather than admit that's their strength, so let's avoid it. You guys are going to go at it.
Yeah, for sure. We're just going to play our same game that we always play. So
they were also able to get a lot of success in transition against you guys. A lot of their offense came before you guys were able to get set. What can you guys do to mitigate that, sort of lessen their transition opportunities?
Yeah, we just got to have better transition defense. We know that they're going to get out and run. Their fives are going to run to the rim. So having a lot of communication in transition is going to help us.